right, everybody. I decided that I was gonna come on a couple of minutes early. We got all type of noise going on. Bye, Hustle. Hustle, come back. Come have a seat. Hustle. I decided I was gonna come in a little bit early so that everyone can kind of get their seats and get situated. I'm gonna get situated. First of all, I want to just say I have not been on live in so long where I have pre-announced it and been on time. So I'm just happy I'm on time. And I'm so grateful that everyone is joining on this live. I am going to try to save this live. Hopefully it doesn't get long. We normally talk for a really long time. So I'm just hoping. I got my Biggie. My Biggie and my puff pajama shirt on. This normally motivate me to give y'all a good word. So let's just jump on into this. So today's live, what we're going to be discussing is class and etiquettes. Now, the reason that I decided that I was going to have this live, first of all, I get like so many requests about this. Secondly, I'm running into people in the streets and we need the etiquettes in the class is lacking. And this is the thing. I am not like before. Let me give you this predisposed. I have not been no etiquette super teacher, anything of that sort. This is all from life experiences, from grandmothers, from mothers, what I've been taught, what I've read and things I've done trial and error on myself. So before we get there, let me just say this. So there's no need to be coming in with extra corrections. If you agree to disagree, if you don't, it is what it is. But we keep it 100 and very thorough around here. And I'm going to just get into it. So, I don't know what happened. I do know what happened. But I don't know why it is an ongoing issue with women. Especially my beautiful black queens. That you don't want to have the most positive, joyous, graceful, God-fearing, just ladylike energy possible when you step outside of your home. Your home is your sanctuary. That's when you're able to deal with any of your stressors, anything that you got going on. You pray, you rest, you eat, you vibe, you do everything. But when you step outside of that sanctuary, you should always, at all times, be carrying yourself like a lady of class, okay? When you go into public places, you have to remember that your image, the image that you have, your reputation, all these things are long lasting, okay? So once something has been etched in this that's negative, it's kind of hard for you to work yourself out of it, okay? So I don't know why when you go out to these places, especially my women who are looking to be wives, who are looking for stable relationships, who are starting over, who are just trying to rebrand themselves, why you don't think that you should always carry yourself like a lady. And it's very simple. It's not as hard as everybody makes it out to be. And I don't know why it just isn't something that just flows. But I need for y'all to start getting it to flow. Okay? It's very imperative that you do it. To represent yourself and other beautiful black women, you need to let it flow. Okay? The number one thing that I think that's something that I have always been so grounded on with just the proper etiquettes and just class and just being ladylike has always been to be a very happy and joyous person. Okay? Even if I'm dealing with something traumatic, even if I have a lot on my spirit, on my heart, I'm still not going to let anybody see that when I am out and about, okay? And that's another thing, too. You're never supposed to let them see you sweat, okay? And I've noticed that a lot of you have never gotten that. You never let anybody see you sweat. The enemies, the lovers, the haters, you never let them see you sweat. So if you're going out and you're dealing with something, you should not be carrying that energy with you. If you feel like you have to carry that energy, you need not go that place. If you feel like you're not in a good spot, you need to start being, and that's another thing. Communicate with people. Let them know, listen, I'm not really having it. I'm not feeling it today. Maybe I shouldn't go out. Let me just take some time to stay home and just get myself together. But when you step outside, when you go in that restaurant, when you go in that establishment, when you go in that business, when you go in that Target, you are supposed to carry yourself like a lady, okay? Please, thank you, words that we can all use. But another thing that I have noticed is just common courtesy. the lack of common courtesy, the lack of being able to just tell somebody thank you, even if they gave you a small tip. You don't understand. We all are going through things. We're all struggling. We're all trying to make it through. Today, prime example, I was in Bath and Beyond grabbing some candles for the house. The young lady helped me. She really didn't know, where stuff was, but she still made it do what it do, showed me some things. Walking out, I told her, thank you so much for your help and you have a good day. She stopped talking to the lady she was talking to and said, oh, well, thank you so much and you have an even greater day. You'll be so surprised how much more you get with sugar than you do with shit. And I know that's not a great way to say it, but sometimes I just got to break that down to y'all just like that. You should always at all times be in a positive place when you are dealing with anybody on the outside world. The outside world is anybody that you don't deal with on a regular basis. Anybody that's getting a first impression to you. You never know where you may run into a person again. You never know what may be networking. You never know where you may be blocking your blessings. A lot of you guys are blocking your blessings because your frequency is very low, your energy is very poor, and you're rude and you're mean. Now, I understand we all been through traumas and we've been through things, but you need to get over those traumas and those things that you're going through. It should never be a time that somebody should be able to knock you off of your square. Stop letting these people knock you off your square. Kill them with kindness at all times. That's the number one thing before we even get into it. If you walking around with an attitude and like life is just throwing it at you hard, baby, life is throwing it at every single person hard right now. We all could be having an attitude. We all are going through the same thing. So that's really not an excuse. So that's something that you need to go ahead and let that go. That's a crutch that so many are leaning on as to why they have a negative attitude or a persona when they go out. And that's number one. First of all, if you're trying to get a man, I don't know what man you think you about to get with a negative attitude. I don't care what you say, what these men say online. They got y'all all discombobulated thinking it's cute to be crazy and weird and mean and raunchy and all this. That is a no. That is why you're single. No man wants to see that. No man with a good heart and a good spirit and a man of God wants you to be running around here with no attitude, with your mouth all frowned up. First of all, frowning causes wrinkles. We are team no wrinkles. We are team young and beautiful forever. So that's what you're not going to do. You're not going to have me just frowning and wrinkling for no reason. But if you are trying to get yourself in some type of relationship and be married, you should be carrying yourself as a happy, graceful queen at all times. Okay. I need you to start telling people thank you when they open the doors for you. I need you to treat wait staff and people who service you as if you could be in a position that they're in. The number one thing that I think I see a lot when I go out, particularly, this is how I know some of y'all ain't y'all really not about that life, that cash money for the 99 2000 life. When I see you out in 5-star restaurants, when I can tell you're not used to nothing because you treat the staff so badly. Even if they are not rendering you the best service, you never let them, okay, knock you off your square. Sometimes you do kind of you may have to knuck if you buck with them, okay? I don't have to get some of them together, but it's not what you do, it's how you do it, okay? And the being catty, the being extra loud, the yelling, the cussing, all of that, it's not necessary, okay? Whenever you are dealing with somebody and they are rendering you poor service, always remember that you're going to handle it nice and classy. Ask for the management, ask for all numbers, and ask for names. Turn yourself into a Karen, baby. Complain about it. Write a letter. Call the next day and ask for the manager. I have called and complained about people the next day, spoke to the manager, got all types of free goodies and snacks, my baby. Start utilizing your high-class resources. Stop letting these people take you. You got a nice outfit on, you and your girls at the restaurant, and you may be dealing with some bad service. Do not let them knock you off your step. Get the name of the person that serviced you and politely ask for it. Sweetheart, what was your name again? Okay, Brittany. All right, baby. What was the last name again? Thomas. Okay. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And your service was nice. Take her name and call, and then you could put the complaints in, okay? Sometimes you even got to let somebody know they're giving you poor service. Baby, I know you could be having a bad day. Your energy is giving me you having a bad day, but I'm blessed and highly favored. I'm having a great day. So I'm not going to let you knock me off my square. But is there any way that we can resolve this without the negativity and the attitude that you kind of giving me? I'm trying to get some things worked out here. If you can't help me, is there a manager that can help me? Utilize other resources when you may be dealing with somebody, but do not let these people knock you off your square, okay? Another thing that we're going to discuss about the class and the etiquettes, and this is probably going to be our longest conversation. The way you guys are dressing is absolutely absurd. I don't know what happened. I don't know when it was okay for us to just go out and just wear all of this type of, first of all, okay, if your grandmama, your mama, or big mama didn't tell you, I'm going to tell you, when you got one body part out, that's the one body part you're going to have out, okay? You cannot go out with your boobs out, your back out, your in between your thighs out, the side out, this out, the broad. And second more, if your back is out, you do not, if you have a back out item, you either need to have a strapless bra, some boob tape, or something under it. But like, we shouldn't see bras under things. I've had this discussion with you before about the Apple Watch. I'm not going to keep talking to you about this Apple Watch. The Apple Watch is not meant, if you are going to any event where there may be possible men that you will be socializing with, okay, it's business attire. Business attire does not include the Apple Watch. You have a cell phone. Everything that the cell phone does, you can do. You don't need to be looking at your watch. You don't need to know how many steps you're making, okay? You are in a social event. You are out and about. You are mingling with people. You are networking. You do not need to have that watch on. You are not on the Stairmaster. You don't understand that there's so many things that people take on and they note when they first meet you, and your appearance, you taking your appearance serious is one thing that they're going to note. And I just talked about this on my YouTube. Your appearance is superficial as it may sound. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all be loving to say, oh, I am not my hair. I'm just coming through. I'm just doing my thing. They're going to accept me who I am. They are going to accept you for who you are, but it's not going to get you to where you need to be, baby. They're going to accept that. They're going to accept that you got that on. And they're going to say hi to you. But remember when you just left them that business card, when you just told them about your brand, when you just let them know that you just got hired into their company, when you just let them know that you just moved next door, remember that? And they may be able to help you elevate in any shape or form. They're going to remember those things. They're going to remember how you were carrying yourself. Okay. And now sometimes we go out, we get caught up in situations. We may not look our best, but let me explain something to you that I love to do. Oh, you caught me at a bad time. I just left the gym. Whenever I look a hot mess, I just left the gym. On my mama, on my hood. I just left the gym. Baby, I probably hadn't even been in that gym, but let me tell you something. If I'm not looking up to par, I just left the gym. Let that be your word for 2022. Oh, excuse me. I know I look a mess. I just left the gym. Oh, I just got finished running. I just got finished picking the kids up. But don't keep on letting people catch you just coming from the gym. Okay? All right? Don't keep letting people run up on you in establishments and you looking like you just came from the gym. They're going to start adding this up. That you have not really truly just coming from the gym and this is how you're going to give it to them. Period, point blank. And it's not, the crazy part about it is that everybody think when you talking about branding and how you looking and how you dress and all of this other type of stuff that everybody thinks it has to be materialistic. Everybody thinks it has to be, all of these high-end brands and everything. You can do what works for you, but what works for you needs to be polished. Okay, it needs to be polished. I'm going to tell you this, and this may hurt a couple of people's feelings, but wearing all of them patterns and all of that stuff, that is not polished. Okay. All right. Wearing things that are too short or too tight are not polished. If you have a little pudge, put you on a spank, put you on some body garments under that can hold it up. Okay. There's things that can give you the slick feeling. Beauty sometimes is not the most comfortablest thing, but you know what is uncomfortable? When your body parts is falling all out of stuff and you don't even have enough confidence. Because realistically, if you don't feel confident in what you're wearing when you're going out to an event or whatever you're doing, you're not going to put your best foot forward. I know this from fact, okay? I have worn things that look so fly. Oh my God, I'm fly. I'm about to kill a game. I get to the certain event, I can barely engage in a conversation because either I can't breathe, either I feel like when I bend over, something gonna come out, either my boobs kind of sitting a little too high, something isn't right. So that's when I tell you, dress and be comfortable and be classy. If you feel comfortable in it, if it's making you feel like I'm that, then you're going to do so much better off. You're going to be able to, you're going to engage in conversations more. You're going to want to talk to people more. But when you're not comfortable in what you have on, you're not going to be at your tip-top class. You're not going to show the most etiquette you have. You're not going to be personable. You're not going to want to go over there and talk to the CEO or whatever it may be. You're not going to want to network with this person that you've seen online and she has a brand like you and you may want to talk to her about it. You're not going to want to do those things. So make sure that your clothing is all the way together. Okay. Another thing that I think that we have to have a conversation about outside of how you dress and you know what you put on. When you are dealing with other people that have businesses, okay, and you want to render a service from them, or you want to know a price point for them, or whatever it may be, you always want to engage in a conversation as if you're actually going to want to spend the money and you're a consumer, okay? You should never be reaching out to people when you're trying to establish anything with them and not greeting them. Not saying hello, not saying hi to people, not even, I mean, some people are not going to take it as far as asking how your day was or engaging in little chit chatty with them. But that's a good opener. You know, engaging in that chit chat is a good opener. If you are not a person who's able to just go up and just start a conversation, engaging in like little small chit chats. How you doing today? How's your day going? What do you have planned for the weekend? Oh my God, the weather is so nice outside. Finally, no snow, whatever it may be. Those are good openers to engage in conversation. And those are also things that make you seem more engageable, because a lot of times, you know, this stiff face that a lot of y'all have, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to have this conversation with you. Change is so easy to just come in with a smile. No matter what you're doing. It's this video that was on Instagram. It was a Chinese gentleman. And he was a teacher. He was getting ready to walk into the class, and it showed him sitting outside the class, like prepping himself, like putting a smile on his face, like getting himself ready to go in, and he walked in with a smile. If you have to do that whenever you're going into anywhere, an event, a store, whatever it may do what you need to do. But remember that people are watching, okay? And remember that you never know when you may run into these people again, okay? You never know when you may be walking into a room and your husband may be sitting in there. Carry yourself as such. Always carry yourself as such. Always greet everybody. When you're talking to people at the table, you should be greeting. Let's say you know someone at the particular table. When you leave for speaking with that person, you tell, all right, everybody, you guys have a great evening. Simple things like that. You never know. Somebody at that table could offer you a position for a job later on. You never know. Somebody at that table may work at the daycare that your kids is at. I need y'all to start understanding the 60 degrees of separation. If you're not too familiar with that, it's very Googleable. Google it. The 60 degrees of separation, okay? There is literally 2 to 3 people in separation of you getting to your destiny. There's literally 2 or 3 people that you can link up with that's going to get you where God wants you to be, literally. So act like every time you out and about, you may run into them 2 or 3 people, and always give them the best of your personality. Even if you're going through whatever you may be going through, you need to be giving them that best. You need to be doing that for yourself. Truly, that's what it's about, because it's going to make you feel better. You know, you're going to get in the car after you leave from an event and be like, dang, I really handled that event better today. Like, I really was in a good space. Like, I really talked well to those people. I handed more cards out than I normally would. You know, I told them about my business. I told them about my salon. I really feel, because you walked in with a more positive outlook at it. You walked in with class. You gracefully spoke to everybody. Okay. If you had some bad energy, you ignored it. That's another thing you have to understand too. We are protecting our peace and our energy. So there's so much etiquette in protecting that. And etiquette that comes with that is not letting anybody steal that peace or that positive energy from you. Okay. So when you're engaging with somebody and you see that the situation is going south, you need to needlessly say, okay, take yourself out of that situation. It's been times when I've been at an event and, you know, I'm sitting and talking to somebody and they may be kind of giving me like really weird energy or whatever. And I just be like, all right, well, you know what? It was really nice meeting you. I'm going to go over here and talk to them, baby. But I hope I run into you before I leave. Bye. Just very peacefully. You don't have to stick around and talk to somebody and engage with somebody if you don't feel intuitively that this person is pouring and giving you any positive and radiant energy back. If you coming like a burst of sunshine and they giving you stormy weather, then you need to beeline it and hit it to somebody else. Okay. But never let that person take you off of your square. Never let that person take you off the square. Another big thing that we need to talk about, and this is like a conversation. This is Hustle down here acting crazy. Hustle. Another big conversation that we need to talk about more per se is, respecting the elderly. I know we're kind of fading away out of the big mama, grandmama, southern grandmama type of phase of our culture, which is sad. It's sad because we need more of that. But you should always show respect to your elders, no matter where you at. If you at a bar, if you at the grocery store, you should show respect for your elders. Even if they are seamlessly being disrespectful to you. I've had them try me and I'll be like, you know what? I respect my elders, so I'm not going to even acknowledge that, but you have a blessed day, baby. Now, please believe when I walked away, I did cuss that heifer out in my head, but I respect my elders, so I'm going to step away. You have to understand that all the energy that you are radiated and putting back into the atmosphere is going to come back to you like a boomerang. Even if it doesn't come back this year, the year after that, or the year after that, or maybe even not even you, it's going to may even hit your kids. Well, everything you put out is going to come back to you, So when you are dealing with, the older population, if you are seeing them out, open the door for them. If you see them struggling with something, ask them if they want some help. I remember this one time, y'all, I'm going to tell you a story because it's a good one. I was at the grocery store. I'm not the grocery store, the gas station. And this guy, I seen him, he had a big, flatbed Ram truck. And he opens the door and he puts the walker down. And he step outside the truck and he stand in front of the walker and he uses the walker and he's barely moving. And me as the nurse in me, I'm just like, oh my God, like who let grandpapa go to the gas station by himself? So I immediately go over like, you want me to go in there and get the gas for you? You all right? He got so mad, baby, I'm good. I said, all right, I'm good. But the energy in me is that could be my father, my mother, my aunt, anybody elder in my family, and I will always want them to be helped. So that energy that you have when you deal with the elderly is also the energy that you have to have when you're dealing with someone your age or even younger. If you see somebody and something ain't looking right, you can always, help from a distance. I know a lot of people don't want to chime in and help people, and people scared and all this other type of stuff, but you can always help from a distance. And you always can be just upright, respectful, and ask somebody, do they need some help? I notice this too. And that's a lot of the etiquettes that I be seeing. Y'all look at somebody struggling with somebody about to fall, somebody look like they down on the street, won't call 911, won't do none of that. All of that stuff is energy being transferred. I don't care what you say, it all is. And it's all going to come back. No matter how much you believe it and how much you think about it, it really is. It really, really is. Another thing that I've been saying, it's so much in my head, I can go all day. Another thing that I've been saying too, and we can go back to the 5-star restaurants. When you are having a birthday dinner at the 5-star restaurant, I think I've talked to you a trillion times about this before. You cannot wear the stripper clothes to the 5-star restaurant birthday dinner. You can't. If you going to have you a turn up after, you can wear that there. But when you are going out to nice restaurants, family-oriented restaurants, I've even seen this as far as down as the Cheesecake Factory. That is not the time for you to wear your outfit that you're going to wear to the club later on that night. That's not the time to wear the outfit that you don't got rhinestoned up, the see-through in this part, the see-through on the back. It's not the time for that. It really is not. Honestly, it's not the time for that anytime. But if that's your vibe is somewhere else. Vibe is somewhere else. You don't. It's not. You don't have to wear it. Like I don't. So many times I've seen this and I just don't understand why. I really wish that women will understand that we have the power. We possess the power. We embody so much power. God created us. To do so much. We're mothers. We're friends. We're sisters. So you don't have to wear those type of outfits. Like you can wear something sexy and it still be classy. You know that, right? Like I think that we have defined sexiness as being naked, and that's where we messed up. Like you don't have to be naked to be sexy. Like I have seen women wear like a nice long tight fitted dress, and sis has walked through the room and got more attention than sister got the mini skirt, this out. No, I'm just being honest with you. Don't kill the messenger, my baby. Sister looked great. I even was like, whoa. And she was fully dressed. Her hair. You don't understand. It's not what you put on, it's what you put out. And when you start putting on these outfits that kind of got a lot of stuff missing, I'm starting to think you got a lot of confidence and things missing. And I used to, you know what, in my heyday, when I used to be, you know, out here giving it to them, raw and I used to be like, we used to say that, like, girl, my confidence is not lacking. Like, I got on my naked clothes, so I want to get on my naked clothes. I'm a strong woman, wild, whatever, all that other type of foolishness. That's foolishness, child. I was going through stuff. I was lacking some confidence. Play with your mama, you ain't gonna play with me. You are lacking some confidence in some type of area. Let's not cap. If we gonna cap, we can cap on down the street. When you have on all that nakedness, you are not sure in who the woman you are, my baby. You can lie to the next person, but you ain't gonna lie to me. So that is an excuse that we're not gonna use. You're not feeling empowered when you naked, okay? You trying to chiming in some type of attention, and it's not. And you know what I've always noticed? You know, the women who back in the day, who, you know, when I was younger, I used to look up to I grew up in the video day eras, the Melissa Fords, you know, all of those, the Buffy the Body, all of that. I grew up when those was the baddies, you know, and they used to be naked and all of that. And, you know, we used to think, oh my God, that was so fly. They was doing so great. Like, look at them. They making all of this money. They in all the celebrity videos. But honestly, I want you to tell me, and this is we having an honest discussion, you know, where are these people at now? What are these people doing now? What energy are these people putting out now? What is their brand being now? You know, I think a lot of us, when we were younger, nobody told and really kind of clarified, you know, that was what they were doing as their brand and an image. And that's not really an image that you carry on throughout your entire life. Like, everybody can be young and kind of enjoy life and vibe, but you don't need to lose yourself and being so naked. Like, nobody explained to us that these women are going to turn into the old women in the club. Nobody really like clarified this. And I'm here to tell you that 80% of these women that you are seeing now on Instagram who are giving nakedness and doing all of this extra stuff, you are not going to see these women in 10 plus years from now. You are not going to have a clue who these women are. These women are not going to be doing anything for the break into the planet. I'm just being thorough. I'm just looking at what I've seen. I've yet to see one where I'll be like, girl, you used to be butt naked on the cover of such and such. Girl, you better be in here being an engineer. Never. I've never seen it. If you see it, let me know. Drop it at the bottom, whatever. I've never seen it. Never. It's a handful, I'm sure, out there that I ain't seen, but I've never seen it. Being naked, doing the most is that short-term gratification. Short term. Yes, you driving the Benz, the Bentley, and the Maserati. Yes, you bringing all the boys to the yard. But are you investing that money? Are you doing something outside of that? Are you building a brand outside of that? What are you going to do 10 years from now? What are you going to do? Because honestly, the world is completely changing. So all of this partying and all this going to, and baby mamas of the rappers and all of this other type of stuff, this is all a fad. This is not long term. So when you think long term, when you really start thinking about what you want in 10 years and what you want to see, how your children want to see you, what you want to leave, you really got to start like rationalizing, like, is this really long term? Like, I had to rationalize that myself when I seen Video Girls. You know, I went in a completely different direction when I was younger, you know, which I'm glad I did because I learned a lot. But I went in the wrong direction because I thought that was the life that I wanted to live. I didn't truly understand the whole logistics of that life. So really look at the whole logistics of everything, you know, look at really what's happening. And I also, you know, think that I've heard a lot of women have inboxed me and be like, you know, because the marriage thing is a battle, honey. The being married thing got so many in a chokehold. They like, oh, I don't want to be married. I don't need to be married. I could this. Marriage is that. I don't need that. That's fine and all. That's fine and all that you don't need to be married. That's fine that you don't want to be married. That's grand. That is all everybody's personal decision. But let me tell you something, okay? An old bum is worse than a young one. Okay? So someone who is old and lonely is worse than someone that's young and lonely. And I have worked with old people, okay? Years ago, I used to work with only senior citizens. And every time I would have a conversation with them, I would ask them, what's one thing important? They'd be like, make sure you have somebody by your side. So you can keep tooting this horn about being single and having children and doing all of this other type of stuff and rocking the mic till it just don't fall off. But remember, we're not getting younger, my love. We're getting older. Time is not slowing down for us, okay? So if you would like to be older, if you would like to be in your 60s still trying to figure it out, that's fine. That's great. But why? Let's be preventative. Let's be preventative here, people. If you could prevent going through that strife, let's figure this thing out while we're youthful and we have time, okay? Start purposely dating. Start purposely carrying yourself like a woman of class. Start going to classy functions. There's more to do than just being in the hookah bars and everything else. There are wonderful, and you know what I love about Instagram, and I just gotta say this. Instagram is a gift and a curse. Y'all know I say that all the time, y'all. You know how my obsession with the gift and the curse. The gift of it is that it has opened the eyes of luxury to so many black women, because I honestly have been telling y'all since '08 that it's all about the coin and that everything is big and brand new and shiny. I'm glad that y'all finally got the memo, okay? Because for years, okay, the bare minimum and I don't need no design of this and I don't need to take no trips and he can take me had y'all in the chokehold. But I'm so glad that Instagram has really opened your eyes and you realize that you can have it all. You can do it. As T.I. may say, you can do whatever you like. Because clearly, y'all was not getting the memo, baby. It is all about bigger and better. You can have anything you want in this whole entire world, okay? If you put your little mind and your time to it. And not your body parts, but your mind and your time. So what I really want for you to understand is that if you want to have a better life, it's going to start with the class and the etiquettes, okay? You have to start being in more classier places. Things that I used to hear all the time. Oh, I don't want to go there. It's all white people in there. If you still hang around people who say they don't go places because it's all white people in there, those are not your friends. They are holding you back. Let them go. If you are still saying things like, oh, I don't live in the white areas, you are still being oppressed. Okay, I want you to let that go. We've been free for a very long time. You can go wherever you like. If you're still saying things like, girl, all them white people in there, I don't really like, I don't really like being around white people. I need you to heal from the trauma of the struggle. I need you to get out of survival mode because you're still in it. And I need you to start going into love mode. Okay, you should never in your life, in the darndest of the days, ever hang around anybody that says things like, I don't go places because there's too many white people there. Do you understand that that was the reason why they created these places and they created these rules so that you in tow did not go there because you were black and they didn't want you there? So why would you be saying in 2022, because there's people who still think like this, I'm not going there because there's too many white people there? Seriously? What are the white people going to do to you when you get there? Because guess what they do when I get there? They stand up with some respect, baby, because there's money in the place. I'm probably doing more well off than they are. So that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna show me some respect, or I'm taking names and numbers up in here. Please believe that's what they're gonna do. Oh, I'm gonna sit at this bar and order a drink and a bottle of champagne, and me and my girls are gonna lollygag, cackle, take Instagram pictures, and do whatever we like. That is the attitude that you should have. You should never be limiting yourself to going places because you feel like it's too many white people there, or this is a white event. Like, I don't even want you to even be saying that. Like, what's happening? What did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? If you ever in your life, let me explain this to you. And I've said this many times before, and I love to stick to my own real life stories. I have stayed from the moment I became a nurse almost 13 years ago when I was still working. I have stayed. I was barely able to pay for it. And I moved to one of the top neighborhoods in Michigan. I was on my knuckles, baby, trying to pay for that rent. But guess what I did? I moved there because you know why I moved there? Because I wanted when I woke up, I wanted to see Benzes, Maseratis, nice houses, people walking their dogs, quietness, nice schools, private schools, nice shopping areas, safe environment. And I didn't grow up in the city, in the hood, so that wasn't it is. I wanted to up it. I wanted to up the ante. That's what I wanted. I wanted my environment to reflect what God told me I was going to get. So even if I was barely able to make it up in there, I needed to see it every day because I knew what God had planned for me. So elevation was mandatory. So I needed to see it. I needed to see the big houses. Okay. I needed to see the cars. I needed to see it. Was I the only black girl living there? I sure was. I think it was maybe one other black girl on the other side that was living there. Okay. But I was the only one that had a little flavor. Okay. I was the only one that was, pulling up bumping Jeezy. But please believe I was there. I was there. So don't ever have any conflict with elevating. And that's what it is. It's feeling like you don't belong. It's the imposter syndrome. And if you lean more onto, the class, if you work in the class, if you work in the etiquettes, if you work on being able to speak, just to speak with confidence, to correctly answer questions. If you don't know how to pronounce something, don't be afraid to ask. I go places all the time, honey, and I don't know how to pronounce things. Half the clothes sometimes I wear, I don't know how to pronounce. But y'all know how much they cost though. But who cares? Ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to Google it. Don't be afraid. Fear will cause you to live the same nightmare of a life over and over and over again. And then you will become bitter because you feel like you're stagnant, but really you are the one that is keeping yourself stagnant because you are afraid to dive into different things. You're afraid, your friends are going to say you're bougie. Your friends are going to say you're bougie. Honey, listen, I put the up in uppity, the B in bougie, the W in wealth, the R in rich, the M in money, and the T in I got time. I don't care if nobody gonna be calling me. I don't care about that. I have no inklings or no worries about that. That's not because honestly, I'm secure in who I am. And if I'm not secure in the area of who I am, I'm God working on it and I'm going to be secure in who I am. So I don't never let those things deter me from being or doing something. There's so many more upper echelon things that I'm going to start embarking in. Like I have just tipped the iceberg of the things that I'm going to do, but I'm never going to let the color of my skin, I'm never going to let things that have been pushed into me to keep me suppressed, keep me from where I need to be. You have to understand that these things were put out to put fear in our hearts to keep us from being better and wanting to do better. That's really what it is. They don't believe that black women can have etiquettes, that we can have class. Before, when you would see a wealthy black woman, you will always, they will always say, oh, either, she's being taken care of, either, she dates a drug dealer or she's a prostitute. That's kind of where they used to box us. Okay. That was like pre-Facebook days, like right around Facebook. That's what it was, Instagram really opened the eyes to them because they really was like, whoa, they kind of thought we was getting educations, but they didn't really know. But Instagram opened the eyes to them. But before those were the three categories, there was never, you could never be, a fly. They didn't expect to see a fly black woman or black women with titles. Who were educated and entrepreneur. They didn't see that. So those were the three categories that they have. So now when they see black women, and you're out and about and you look great and you're feeling good, they already are going to be like, okay, well, let me see how they talk and how they carry themselves. Cause that's going to really tell me what they got going on. So you always want to be, you have to, realize that as much as we try to separate and divide each other, we still are all apart. We still are one. As much as we've been taught and it's been, beaten to our heads and crab in the barrel syndrome, we still are one. So when you're out, you want to represent as much as you can, and I'm always going to represent for all of y'all, wherever I'm going to go. I'm always going to give it to the boys, the girls, the little kids, the grandkids, the little staring little white baby over there, all of them, they going to get it. So you always have to understand that, you want to give them what they don't expect. And what they don't expect is for you to be classy, for you to handle things a certain type of way, for you to say please and thank you, for you to, treat everyone equal, for you not to, and I don't know, I've noticed this too. I'm going to say it. I've noticed this too for a lot of people I've walked around, I've been around, maybe Instagram celebrities or whatever you may have called them. I have ran into some that have been some of the rudest, low class people I've ever met in my entire life. And the lowest class thing you can do is ever in the world to me that you will never ever have to deal with me ever again is to treat anybody that's servicing you like they're the help. Okay. I don't know, and especially someone, who I've known or has known to come from a struggle, just because, God has elevated you and you come from a struggle and now you have a form of wealth or, whatever it may be, you never treat anybody like they're less than or like they are, the service or the help or whatever you may call them. Okay. And another thing that I want for y'all to stop doing is stop not tipping people too. Yeah, I said it. When you go places, you need to equate the tip into everything you do. If you valet park, you tip them. If you have a waiter, if the service was poor, you still tip them. Because remember, people who work off of tipping have to pay their bills and have to still do what they need to do. So tip people. Stop going places, you raggedy heifers. Because I feel like that's the raggediest thing you can do is not tip somebody and not tip people. And then y'all will run them back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Shots of juice, this, that, water, juice. Can you bring me this? Water, juice, appetizer, juice, hookah, juice. And then you're going to be like, oh, our bill, $7.80. All right, girl, let me get 20 from you. Let me get 80 from you. Let me get 90 from you. You put that money and you walk out. After you literally have ran them the entire night and you don't tip them. You need to stay at home. You need to stay at home. I said it. You need to stay at home. You really do. You need to start being more exclusive. The word for 2022 is exclusive. So when you're exclusive, you're not here, there, and everywhere. You need to start purposely going to events, purposely going places, being places where you need to be. Okay? All right? That's what you need to do. If I see you out and you're supposed to be this wealthy, rich, whatever you are, and you don't tip anybody, I now know that your money is not the way you capped it out on Instagram to be. Tipping is the highest form of etiquette that you can have when you are wealthy. Bosses tip. Big boss tip. Big boss tip. They tip. Okay? And they don't just tip because they want to show off. They also tip because they value somebody's time that they took to service you. Even if the service is poor, I know my black people, we tend to be like, oh, she ain't get no tip. I've done it before too. But I have had to correct myself. You still tip them because people are using this money to survive. So respect that. Okay? Tipping. Tipping is a major thing. A major thing. Another thing that is a major thing, okay, that I've noticed, okay, when we the people get this coin, when we the people get this money, when we are in our bag per se, and now we're getting it, okay, we tend, when it comes, we're back on clothes. I know I'm all over the place, but come back with me. We're back on the fashions. We tend to go out and buy every brand name item and wear it all at the same time. You don't have to wear all that stuff at the same time. If you got the Dior bag, the shoe, the boot, the hat, unless this ensemble is meant to go together. Example, Dior just dropped the ski line. The ski items are fire. If I would have went to Colorado this year, I would have blew the bank on that. That is something we can wear. Put the ski stuff on, boo, do your thing. But when we're not wearing it as a full outfit, we're not on the slopes. I do not want you to have all that on. I want you to stop wearing that. I want you to start being able to theatrically put your pieces together. I want you to put your pieces together like this is a show. Like you are giving the people a show when you come outside. And if you are giving them a show, you don't want your script to be the same thing from head to toe. You want to give them different episodes and everything. Okay? Now, the episodes don't need to be too all over the place. But you want to be clean. You want to be classic. But you don't have to wear all of that stuff at one time. You don't have to wear it. You don't have to wear all that stuff at one time. That's screaming attention that you don't want. You can dress. And you know what the crazy part about it is? We were in LA last year. And we were leaving out of Dior. And it was a Orient Chinese girl, I think. And she literally had on Dior from head to toe. And I was like, my husband was like, oh, that is so much. It's so tacky. And I was like, I'm so happy you said that when she had it on. Because, you know, people love to think that they say it when just black girls have it on. But no, when anybody wears it, it's tacky. It's too much. You don't have to wear that. You don't need to scream, you know, I got a bag, I got coins, and wear all of that stuff, you know. Especially women. You know, when you're out and about, you want to look more clean and more sleek. You want to look more well put together, okay? And being well put together, and I just talked about this on my YouTube. I'm just going to cover it again in case y'all didn't miss it. My next YouTube episodes, we're going to talk more about this. We're going to go in more in depth. But the basics of being clean and put together, okay? The basics is that your hair and your nails and your makeup are together. If you spend thousands, and I just said this, if you spend thousands of dollars on your outfit, thousands, you need to be hustle. You need to be budgeting in your hair and your makeup. That's the number one thing that I think that really irks me is that I could see a girl and her outfit be fire, and then like we pan up and we get to the hair and the makeup, and I'm just like, my baby, no. Spend that coin. Plan things out. Plan out your looks. It's so much fun in planning your look out. Have you ever done that? Have y'all planned your looks out? Have you ever just sat down and planned your look out? I normally think about a look because I have a strong amount of OCD for maybe, it could be, sometimes I've thought about the looks that I'm wearing in Miami. I have been planning them for like a month. I have retracted items, added, done all of that. It's been a month. But when you have an event, especially when you know the boys are going to be there, okay? More, let's not say boys, the men. When you know the men are going to be there, my single ladies, okay, and you looking for your husband, you know this is potential husbands may be in the place to be. Do not go in that establishment without your hair and your makeup done, and do not go in there with your potential wife voice. Do y'all have a potential? The potential wife voice is legendary. Hi. It may be kind of like a Barbie-ish, hey, whatever it is. But it's not the voice that you give it on your phone like, bitch, it's not that voice. It's not that voice. It's not that voice. We have two voices. When there are husbands on the floor, we are talking like, because let me tell you something. The damsel in distress thing, y'all can say that men don't like it, but men love it. Whenever a man can feel like he about to help you with something, sis, he'll be on it like gravy on rice. Oh my, I just can't. I just lost my keys. Thank you for giving me my keys back. That should be your voice. I don't want you to be talking like Big Meech when you out and about and you looking for a man. Okay? Take your Big Meech voice off. We are dainty ladies. Okay? Hey girl. Very dainty. Hi. Hello. I'm telling you, the boys love it. They love it. Love it. They love it when you had a dainty voice on, okay? Once he your man, like I had the dainty voice for like 3 weeks. Once me and my husband, I knew I was in there, I gave him Big Meech. But do not be in these people's establishment giving these men Big Meech. That could be a reason why you don't have no man, because you're giving them Big Meech. So the number one thing, we have our lady dainty voices on when we walk into the place. How you doing? Hey. You speak to everybody. You speak to everybody. To you meanies, you speak to everybody. Stop going to this place looking mean. What are you so rough and you so tough about? I don't care if you done been through some struggles and you had some bad men problems. This is Operation I Need a Husband. Act like you know what you know, okay? Get in there and be nice. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Speak, hey, how you doing? Hey, okay? We're ladies. Our hair is done. Our hair is up to par. First of all, if your hair not done, don't go. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how I got my, I really got my name in the streets, okay? Between the ages of 19 and 26, I didn't even go to an establishment unless my hair wasn't done. The girls knew me from my hair being done. They knew me from that. Listen, they were coming to me and be like, girl, your hair always done. Period, poo, it was done. I didn't go out unless my hair was done. When the money was real good, I didn't go out unless I had an outfit. But the hair was mandatory. Mandatory. They know. Listen, the girls who know me from back in the day, baby, I didn't step out unless my hair was done, baby. I used to make a hair appointment the day of the event, baby. The day of the event. On God. So you need to make sure your hair is done. Let's talk about the makeup. Everybody don't like makeup. I know everybody don't like makeup. We battle about this all the time. Everybody don't like lashes. But let me explain something to you, okay? You're going to have to take it up a couple notches. You're going to have to take it up 2 notches. You look too basic. I'm sorry. I said it. Your friends ain't going to tell you. But remember, we family. I'm going to tell you. You look too basic. You look too basic. First of all, you going into the club with gym shoes on. And I told y'all about that a while back. So we ain't even going, I ain't even going to go there. But you giving them too basic. You out and about. Put some lip gloss on, my baby. Put on some lip gloss. Put some lip gloss on. Put you on hit them little dark spots. We all got them. Hyperpigmentation spots. Put a little foundation on there. Watch you some YouTube videos. I got a good one. Show you soft glam, beginning to end. Put something on there. You looking basic. It is what it is. And let me tell you something. Regardless of what you think, regardless of what the basic girl say, and I'm just going to say it, men don't like that. If it's any men in the house, they'll agree with me. I don't think it's any, but they don't like it. They don't want to see you looking like that. At 9:30 at night, with a lemon drop martini in front of you, you should not be looking basic. This is not the time to do that. You should be in this thing, giving it to everybody up in there. Everybody up in there. This ain't the time. This is not the time. Give me something. Give me a clear lip gloss, please. Carmex is not lip gloss. It's not lip gloss. Carmex is meant for when it's cold outside. Carmex. Gym, Carmex. Picking the kids up, Carmex. But when you are in these people's establishment, potential husbands, the lady voice on, a little bit of makeup. You're looking basic. You looking. And see, this is the thing. The reason why you got a bad attitude and your energy, your frequency is vibrating so low is because you're not confident in your visual appearance. I said it. Because when you feel like you a baddie, when you feel like you giving it to, when you feel like this outfit is fire, my hair is fire, my makeup is fire, can't nobody tell you nothing. You talking to the bouncer. You having a conversation with him. Whoever talking to you, you having a conversation with him. You better act like anybody give you a compliment. Thank you. Anybody all night long. Thank you. You taking pictures. The picture man don't came over there, took 3 pictures of you and your girls. You don't blew the hookah out. You don't took one leader to the side. You don't order round the drinks for everybody. You know you don't got all that money on your card. You just living your life. The time of your life. Because you feel good. You look good. You look good. You know. You Nurse Barrow told me I'm going to put myself together. I'm about to get my hair together. I'm about to have my little makeup on. I'm going to have me a nice little classy whoop, whoop, whoop on. I'm about to be feeling good. But that's what it is. A lot of the poor energy and frequency that so many women, have, and the bad attitudes they have is because they're not confident in their visual appearance. They don't feel like they look good. And then they're afraid to make the changes that they need to make. And they don't want to self-assess, and they don't think like, it's okay for me to look basic. The worst thing that you could possibly say is he either going to take me like this or he not taking me at all. Well, guess what? He's not taking you at all. They're picking, don't take you at all. They're going with the B option. The B option is the option. They picked B. They're not picking A. They're not picking you. They're picking B. They're going with someone else. They're declining. They're declining it. I'm here to tell you. They're not. They're good. They're good. They're good. They're good. They're declining. So don't be mad at anybody else because you said either they're gonna take you or they not, and they said they not. Oh God, they said they not. They not. They're declining. They're declining. They're moving forward. They're not renewing the contract. They don't want to have any more discussions. They're not buying you any more drinks. They moved on. They moved on. The young lady at the end of the bar who's very well put together, who's been cackling and laughing with her girls, they're going over there. She looks happy. She looks joyous. You know, she put herself together today. She's giving. She's confident. No, she don't got to have on $1,000 worth of this or that. But she, you know what? Her glow, her inner glow is showing. So yes, that's where they're going. So understand that's what it is. It's internal. It's really internal. You have to be okay with saying I don't look okay and I need to get myself to look okay. Period. You have to. You have to sit down and have that discussion with yourself. You got to stop being a hater. A lot of you are haters. Very much haters. Like, as women, we are a very jealous species. And that's something you got to pray about. Because, see, that's another, the enemy on a serious note, the enemy will use jealousy, that the little bit that's already built in us, and he will increase that, and that will block millions of your blessings. That will chop your blessings down right at the root, right there. He'll use that against you. If he knows that you are lacking confidence in the way you look or your weight, he will show you every skinny, little waist, bad bitch from here to Pensacola. And you will see her and you'll be mad at every single one. You will frown your face up. You will be mad. You will not be in a good mood. You will not have a husband. You are mad. You're angry. Your energy is bad. Whole night ruined. Boom, bing, bow. Right there. Right there. Right there. My husband, we were out at an event one time, and I said it. My husband did not believe me when I first met him. He believed me, but he didn't think it was as serious where I told him, like, I don't even have to say anything. Like, women will just turn their noses up at me as soon as I sit somewhere. They will be intimidated, and they will just, like, they'll be in flux. They, like me just sitting at the table will have them in a chokehold. He didn't believe it. We went to an event. I sat down. I greeted everybody at the table. I was chatting it up and being personable. The whole time, baby girl across the table frowned up the entire night. Frowned up the entire, like, literally me, I took her breath away. Literally, she couldn't even talk. And my husband was getting so angry. He's texting me like, yo, I'm about to say something to her, because you know you be texting with your man when they in the room. He like, yo, what's up with mine? I said, I told you, I don't even know why I said so mad. He like, yo, I'm about to say something to her because, like, you ain't even did nothing. Why she so mad? Literally, he was in a car. He had a whole conversation with me on the way home. He couldn't believe it. He said, that is just crazy that women just like, but I said, you know what it is? It's because there's something she's lacking. There's something that she's not confident about. I literally, just me being who I am made her feel uncomfortable, and it literally ruined her whole entire night. Like, literally, she's stuck in being a hater. Like, literally, the devil is using jealousy to keep her stuck. And I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. She was a little bit overweight. She was very, very under cared for. You know, she probably, who knows what the lady was going to do. We ain't gonna judge her, but I already knew what it was that the enemy was using that to hold her back. Don't you understand that? Like, the enemy will have you really mad at other women out here for being who they are, and you really could be that woman times 1,000 if you just put that energy into yourself. It's crazy. It's crazy. If you put that energy into yourself, if you worked on carrying yourself a different way, if you didn't let people steal your joy, if you understood that women are beautiful in all colors and all shapes and sizes. Let me explain something to you. I am the epitome of seeing. When I see a woman look good, I am the first one to call her out. Sis is killing it over there with them shoes on. What? Did you see her? Did you see her? Because let me explain something to you. Coming from another baddie to another baddie, I know how hard it is for them. So I'm going to let sis know she look good. Sis, them shoes, you're killing it. Thank you. It's little things because it's enough room for everybody to be fine. I don't know where people start making these assumptions where we can only be, we all are beautiful in our own right, in our own way, in our own light. So do not let the enemy use jealousy to block you from your blessings, because it's blocking a lot of you from your blessings. It's blocking you from your husband. It's blocking you. You know, I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and she was telling me about another issue she was getting into it with another one of her, friends. And she was saying how, she's like, she can't get a relationship with a man. She was like, I know why she can't get a relationship with men, because how nasty she is to women. And I was like, oh, I kind of didn't understand. So I was like, okay, let's get more into it. But it makes perfectly good sense. Men, even when men see how nasty you are to women, how nasty you are, how you carry yourself to women, that's a turn off to men too. Like, y'all be thinking because they saying these rap songs that they want you to be stuck up and bougie and don't talk to nobody and have a funky attitude, but they're declining them. They're declining them too. They're not taking them serious. See what y'all gotta understand is that when they be rapping about these girls in a song, they don't be rapping about wifing them. They be rapping about like getting the cookies and the cooch and hitting the road. So yes, they're gonna gas up these girls who are imaginatory and have these horrible attitudes and all this other type of stuff. And then they got people thinking, oh, okay, well, I'm supposed to have this nasty attitude and can't nobody touch me and I can't say hi and I can't say hello and I'm mean and all of this other type of stuff. Yes, they are gonna engage in that activity until they get the pocketbook. And once they get your pocketbook, then they're on to the next decline. He does not want to go past. He does not want to renew the contract. He's not answering your calls. He's hit it and gone. You didn't get a dime. You barely got a meal. You're sad. Now you're crying. It doesn't hurt to be nice. The etiquettes in being a nice, kind woman is limitless. Like, just having a smile on your face. Just telling somebody thank you. What is so hard about that? What is so hard about that? But I've told you this 1,000 times, and I'm not going to tell you this, but a lot of it is your visual appearance, and you're not happy with how you look. You're not happy with that. And, another thing that I think is an excuse that most people use, too, is, and, I'm just going to say this, to my women who, are single moms, and, they're raising children. Raising children is hard. Being a single mom is difficult. But you cannot get lost in that identity. A lot of you are lost in the single mom identity. It has you in a chokehold, and I mean literally in all entities of your life. Like, you are unhappy about your situation, or you're having some regret, or you have not healed from that, or the relationship you still walking through. But being a single mom has become your identity, and it is like, it has you like in like a flip chokehold, and then it's like a Nelson. Like, it's wild. And it is pouring into every single thing you do. Your work, your relationship, your friendships, your visual appearance, even into your parenting. And I get so emotional when I think about it, because it sucks, because, everybody's story is different, and kids are a blessing. And it takes so much to be a woman and not have support. But you have to accept your situation, and you have to forgive yourself for how the situation playing out. And you have to find your new self in being a mother and not having that outside support. I really want y'all to stop calling yourselves single mothers. I know it's a way to identify that there may not be an outside source, but it ain't nothing single about your situation, because you have God. And it's so much power in the word. So putting that title on yourself as a single mom, you already is feeling like you doing this on your own, and you not. So I get so angry with my friends, and they say, I'm going to be a single mom. And I'm like, whoa, you're not going to be a single mom. You're a mother. You have God. You may not have bodily resources, but you have spiritual resources at all times. So you don't call yourself that. So let that title and that hurt go, and embrace and step on the new person that you're getting ready, that you can be, and you getting ready to be, and ask God to help you with that, because you're losing yourself in that. And most people don't understand that as a mother, you can't lose yourself. You have to hold on to you and realize who you are, because those identities and those things that God made you is going to make you be an awesome mother. And your parenting is lacking because you found yourself in this identity of being a single mom. It's okay. You have to forgive yourself for that. And you got to move on. You can't keep going around in a circle talking about how he ain't here, he left, and I'm doing this on my own. You can't keep talking about that. Because you have to accept it. You got to move on. It's so much power in accepting something and moving on. It's so much. Like, I'm getting the chills thinking about it because most people don't understand it. You have to accept it. It's so much stuff I had to accept and just move on. And if I didn't accept it, I would still be in those shackles and that chokehold of it. I would still have that. That would still be the elephant in the room. So do not address yourself as a single mother. If you do not have the man there as much as you would like, or he is playing and doing whatever, understand this, that everybody answers to the Lord, baby. Everybody answers to the Lord. Everybody answers to the Lord. But do not let that title keep you stagnant and in shackles. Don't let it do it. You got to be better for your children. So if you have been fighting that, if you have been fighting that, I'm a single mom, I can't do this, I'm a single mom, you got to let that go. Because you got God. You're going to be okay. You got to make yourself better for your children and for everybody else. You got to be the best you can be. Because God entrusted you with this journey. You got to remember, whenever God give you something, he entrusted you. He knew you could make it through. He knew what he was giving to you when he gave it to you. He didn't give it to you and be like, well, I don't know if she's going to be able to do these 2 kids, but I'm going to go and hand them over. He gave them to you with trust and who he made you to be and what he embodied in you. So go ahead and do your thing. But I want you to let the shackles of being the single mom go for 2022. That is not the excuse anymore. You can do all things that God has put you to do. Do not lose yourself in that. Find yourself in that. There's an identity that comes from that. There's a strength that comes from that. There's a relationship for you. There's wealth for you. There's things that are still available for you. You don't ever, if you didn't learn nothing from me, learn this from me. I don't never let nobody box me in. You will never identify me as just one thing. You will never put me and say that's it. That's a nurse. That's all she do. She just a nurse. She just do stuff online. She just take pictures. You never are going to box me in. So don't let your identity just be a single mother. Don't let that just keep you from going to that next level. Don't let, I'm a single mom, so I really can't put time and take the time into myself, or, I just don't have the time to do it, or, these kids, girl, these kids, because those are shackles. Those are verbal shackles that you are constantly putting around your arms and your hands and your feet every time you say them. That's how you have to visualize it, to stop yourself from doing it. But you can't live under that balloon all the time. You can't let that be who you are, because you're going to keep on doing that, and them kids going to leave the house, and then what you going to lean on then? What's going to be your excuse then for not living, for not being who you supposed to be? Of course, there's going to be times where you're not going to know where things and how things are going to work. We all have those times. But I always know that God is behind the scenes figuring it out. It's not my job. My mother says all the time, it's not my job to figure out how it's going to happen. It's just my job to go and do. I'm not supposed to know how the house is supposed to be built. I'm just supposed to walk in it and set it up. I'm not supposed to know how the S550 going to get in the driveway. I'm just supposed to drive it and take pictures of it when I get it. That's just how it goes, baby. That's the best way to look at it. But if you want to continue to lean on that, then you're just going to lean yourself into a deeper hole of depression. Okay? And a lot of times, most people don't understand that, a lot of the decisions that we don't forgive ourselves for, poor decisions that we don't forgive ourselves for, are what's keeping us in shackles too. So you got to forgive yourself if you feel like you made poor decisions with however became a single mom or whatever it is. You have to forgive that, or forgive the time that you didn't put, the effort into yourself. A lot of people are going to get off this live and they're going to have an aha moment and be like, I really have not been putting the time into myself. And you may cry, you may break down, because I've had those moments. But what you got to understand is that crying is liquid prayers. So we can cry. It's a cry. It's coming from Crybaby over here. Those are liquid prayers. But you also have to realize that is a fresh start. You washing away everything, and you getting a fresh start. So start fresh. Take this next day as your fresh start. But start putting more time into you and your visual appearance. Start putting more time into you spiritually. Start spending more time with God. You have to do that. You have to do that. It's important. It's imperative. And stop living under these titles. You know, you can also be called and living in the title of a mother and a wife and everything else. All these things are people, the number one thing that I think that I mostly, when I talk to women and they be like, oh, how can I be more feminine? How can I find this in myself and do this? The number one thing that I have noticed is that they've lost themselves in being a wife and a mother. And that's so easy that you can do because we are providers and, we are built to fix everything, to take care of everything, to do everything. So I honestly can see that. But that's something you have to take the time and work to not do. You got to find that time to be you outside of all of that. You have to. You got to find that time to do it. You have to identify the fact that you are doing that. And that could be very costly to your marriage. Do you know that's like one of the reasons that marriages kind of go south is that, women become mothers and, they kind of lose their self and their children and they kind of like put their husband on the back burner and the husband uses that as an excuse for whatever foolishness he want to do, whatever. I don't know. But still, that does have something to do with it. And it's important that you don't lose yourself in that either. So, if you do, you have your husband, you need to communicate with him and let him know there's going to be times when you are going to need to do things on your own. And that is not the grocery store or Target. The grocery store and the Target thing really has you guys bewildered as that is alone time. That is great. We all love buying stuff in Target and doing all of that. But that is not alone time. You need some time where you can go and you can do some maintenance on yourself. When you can go and you can do something you like. Where you can go and just have some time to just breathe. You need to put that as a mandatory. And if you are looking to get married, that's something you need to discuss before you get married with your husband. Like, listen, when these kids come, I am going to need some time outside of doing things to maintain our household for myself. I'm going to need a couple of hours a week. I'm going to need maybe a day, whatever, a half a day. But you need to take that time. You need to make that mandatory. Okay? That does not include doing things to keep the household running. Those are things that you just do for yourself. So whatever you need to do it, you need to set that up because that's going to keep you mentally healthy and that's going to keep you healthy for the relationship. I think another thing that's really important that you need to have a discussion with before you get married and when you get married is like the visual expectations of your husband. I don't think people talk about that. Like, when you met me, I look like this. So let's say I have kids and this happened or that happened. Are you still going to be accepting of that? Some men cannot, that some men cannot, accept the changes that happens with their wives after they have children. They can't accept that. So that's a discussion. That's the thing you need to talk about. Like if my stomach, if I get a little fupa, if I get some areas that kind of ain't right, or will you be able to accept that, or where your eyes start to wander and your pants start to wander, and then the divorce ink pen start to wander on the paper. Like, look, you gotta talk about those things. You have to. Are those acceptable things for a marriage? Because some men can't handle that. They can't. Another a discussion I had to have with my husband is about plastic surgery. No, I'm never falling apart. Have you ever watched the movie? I love this movie. It's an old school movie. A lot of y'all probably have. Death Becomes Her. Death Becomes Her is a movie that you all need to watch. I love it. They literally took a medicine to make them stay beautiful forever. And then at the end they ended up falling apart and turning into mannequins or whatever it is. But sis, I am never falling apart. I am going to be like my girl. I chased the spring. I'm going to be 70 looking like I'm 40. Y'all ain't going to be able to. I'm done even telling you the age of my birthdays anymore. Y'all don't know how old I'm turning. But please believe, if it's falling apart, baby, I need the money. I'm putting it back together. So that was the discussion I had to have with my husband. Do you have an issue with plastic surgery? Like, do you, if I want to put it back together, is that something, that what you want to do? These are discussions that you need to have. Because you don't ever want things to get to turn into issues, and then they turn deeper, and they be rooted in so many other areas. But be okay with having those discussions. I think that a major thing you have to accept when you are trying to get your visual appearance together is that you're not going to look like anybody else. I think that the curse end of Instagram has everybody feeling like they need to look a certain way. And it's so much beauty. That's why God made us to look all different, because there's so much beauty in so many different women of colors and flavors and sizes and all of that other type of stuff. So I want you to know that you don't want to make yourself look like anybody else on social media. The objective is to make yourself look the best you, the best version of yourself. So if you are feeling like, let's say you think you're overweight, you have to be realistic of the weight that you're going to get that's going to be healthy. Not you looking like you do coke, but you looking like you're healthy and you've lost weight the right way, and your booty and your boobs fit your body, and so on and so forth. That's how you want to do. You don't want to, we need to stop looking at the beauty on Instagram. Those girls have polished and maintenance themselves to look great for their selves, for the way they're supposed to look. So everyone's not going to look the same. Okay. You don't need to go out and say, well, I want to look different, so I want to look just like her right there in that picture. You want to look like the best of yourself. If you know that you're a person who's really not, into makeup or all of those other type of things, but you still want to be polished, that's when you need to research what's something. Okay, there's tinted moisturizers. It's so many different levels to it, but you have to find a level that works for you where you're looking your best. That's the trick to it. But you don't want to go to the extreme of trying to go and look like somebody else. You want to look the best for yourself. That's the best way that I'll tell you to do it. But definitely your weight being controlled is a major one. Y'all already know I'm not about to have this discussion with y'all. I'm going to have a small snippet of it, okay? If you are overweight, you are unhealthy. All that other stuff y'all be trying to say about, big is big. Yes, okay. Rock it until you can't rock it no more. But please believe that everything you do that is unhealthy has a consequence at the end of the road. And being healthy is what the objective is. And so if you are suffering from acne, if you are suffering from brain fog, if you are suffering from extreme fatigue, if you are suffering from, really dry looking skin, all of this other type of stuff, it is because of what you're putting into your body. Okay. So remember that being healthy is the number one goal. You cannot tell me when you are overweight that you're healthy. You're not. We're not going to argue about it. We're not going to go back and forth. You're not. So if you have to start making changes, the number one change you need to make, and I notice, is your diet. A lot of things that we eat are really, really toxic. And I'm going to be honest with you. It is very expensive to eat healthy. It is getting more and more expensive to get healthy. But it's what you eat. It's what you put into your body. You have to be more conscious of what you put in your body. You have to understand that healthy is truly the wealth of all beings. So taking care of yourself is going to start. Your visual appearance is going to start about what the food and what you put into your body. If you are overweight, you need to be exercising and losing some weight. I'm not going to tell you that. We're not going to go back and forth about it. We're not. It's not. And then you ain't going to, because, and then let me explain something to you. When you start going to these doctors and they start telling you that you pre-diabetic, you pre-hypertensive, okay? When they start scaring you and telling you this, when they start telling you that your cholesterol high and you only 32, then you're going to be like, well, why did nobody tell me? I'm here to tell you now. There's a consequence to it. The food that we eat is extremely toxic. Try to minimize the toxins that you put into your body. Try to minimize them as much as possible. The older you get, the more you can start minimizing them. You have to start letting them go. I told y'all before, I have to start. Like, I love the lemon drops. I absolutely wish I could fall into a lemon drop and swim in that thing sometimes, but I've decided I really, like, I'm coming to the next couple of weeks to where, plus I'm trying to get pregnant, so I'm the alcohol thing had to go out of the door anyway, but I'm gonna have to really let the lemon drops go. Like, I'm really gonna have to let them go. I'm really just gonna have to stick to my red wine. It's sad. I'm gonna have a funeral for him. Probably gonna have me a little procession after, maybe even an after party to that, but I got to let him go. You have to make those critical decisions when you want change and it's discipline. And a lot of you have to start adding discipline into your life. Do you know that discipline is the foundation for everything? Discipline is the foundation for every single thing. So if you want to look better, you have to have the discipline and putting in the effort to look better, to have clear skin, to put your makeup on, to pick out the appropriate outfits, to shop at different stores, to look for correct undergarments. It's discipline that takes, because that takes time. And a lot of y'all just want it to be instant. You want it to be, I just walk up and pick it and it just do. And that's not how it works. Everything is going to take some discipline. And it has to start with you. You have to start making those decisions right now. And sometimes they're decisions that you're going to be sad about. Like me. I'm really sad about the lemon drops. It saddens me. But I have to do what I have to do. So, just be more proactive. Don't be reactive. Like, when it happens, now you reacting to it. I got to change my diet because they said I'm pre-diabetic. I got to do this. They saying I may have liver cirrhosis. Because, let me explain something to you. It's so many people that's dying from liver cirrhosis, especially these men, from this binge drinking and all of this other type of stuff. It is very, 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 very serious. It's very serious. So just take care of yourself internally as well. Make that a goal for you. And just small choices every day will get you so far. Just really making those better choices. Deciding to drink more water. If you are not drinking water, stop playing with me and drink water. Water is mandatory. Some of us have to drink more than others, but it's mandatory. A reason why a lot of y'all are overweight is because you don't drink water. And I'm going to say this, it's about to blow y'all out of the water. You should not be drinking, as a grown adult, you should not be drinking soda anymore. Like, soda should be something that you are drinking very sporadically. Remember that from Clueless? Sporadically. You're drinking it like every blue moon. Maybe you're drinking a Verner's because you're feeling a little upset stomach. Maybe you just out and about at the movies with the kids. Every blue moon you want to get it. But soda should not even be something you buy to have in your household. Soda is absolutely horrible. Listen, people, and then I know for sure y'all shouldn't be talking about no Diet Coke, Pepsi, and all of that. Y'all and Mountain Dew. If Mountain Dew, Pepsi, or Coke has you in a chokehold, get your ass out of that. I just cuss out of that chokehold right now, because this diabetes gonna have you in a chokehold too. Do not be drinking this man-made foolishness. Go drink you some water. And if you gotta have you some juice, drink you some orange juice, some apple juice, and some cranberry juice. But do not be out here just drinking all of this soda. Soda is horrible. A lot of the skin issues and the things that y'all dealing with is because you drinking soda. Oh my God, soda is horrible. You can't. So just think about it. Research. And these are things you can research. I'm not telling y'all this stuff because I'm just like coming up with stuff off the top of my head. These are things that you can research on your own. You should not, in any shape or form, be indulging in soda. The heck? No. And I don't want y'all to even have y'all kids on soda either. So make soda something when they go out somewhere. Like at Chuck E. Cheese, they can have some soda. Because you gotta let kids be kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, we grew up on it. We was all right. But you have to do things in moderations. You gotta understand about how important moderations are. If you having an issue drinking water, like lately water has been tasting so bland to me. So I've been putting lemons and limes in my water, and now I'm back like drinking it like a crackhead. So put the lemons and the limes, put some strawberries in there, some raspberries in there, some cucumbers, some mint leaves. Put all of that up in there. Whatever you got to do to make your water look good and look beautiful. Even for the kids, finesse them. Put some strawberries in it and all of that good stuff. Have them thinking, oh, this strawberry water is so good. Do whatever you have to do. But these things you're introducing into your children when they're children are qualities, and these are things they're going to carry on to when they're older. You know, that's the thing. Like, prime example. I'm not a butter girl. I'm not a big butter girl. Some people cook with butter. Like, if I cook with butter, it's like per request of my husband, or it's in the ingredients. But I know people who are like butter on everything. They make eggs, they put butter. They do all of this. I picked that up from my father. My father is like, if he even think you putting butter on it, he like, did you put butter on that? He won't even eat it. He will not eat it. He will not eat it. I don't know what the hell happened to him with that butter in the 50s or the 60s, because my father is older. I don't know, but it got him in a chokehold. He ain't eating it. But until that ran off to me. So as a child, when I would be like at my cousin's house and my aunt would make something and put all the butter on it, I wouldn't eat it. And she would be like, why you didn't eat it? I'm like, it's butter on it. So it's like, you'll be surprised how your kids will carry this on their entire life. If you grew up and you were unable, you didn't eat, you couldn't afford fruit. Fruit is a luxury. Fruit is a luxury that some people did not grow up with. I know that saddens you to hear, but it's real life. Introduce those fruits and those things to your children. That's what they talking about when they saying you give to your kids what you didn't get. They not talking about all this material stuff. They talking about real life changing things that you can introduce, that they can carry on and introduce to their children. But diet control and no soda all the time and things like that are very important things that we got to be sticklers to, especially the African American community, because it is killing. Like 80% of the people who died from COVID had comorbidities. I know they don't want y'all to think it. I know they want you to think that it wasn't that, but it was. It took all the dialysis people out. It took all the diabetic people out. It took all the uncontrolled hypertension, all the stroke people. It took them out the game. Bing, bang, they was gone. Big Mama is out of here. Out. Overweight, couldn't fight COVID, died. Half them people, they was proning and flipping and all of that stuff, were overweight and had comorbidities. So make the decisions and the choices now. Fight the fight now with your children and yourself. But if that's something that you are struggling with, you need to change that. That's a big thing. That is a thing. That is another thing that most women feel like is in a chokehold, is because they can't control their weight and they feel like it's controlling them, and it's really making them sad, and they're not confident because they feel overweight. And it's not about you getting skinny and this BMI and all of this other type of stuff that they need to change that they use. It's about you being healthy. And you know when you healthy. You know when you walk up the stairs that you can't breathe. You know when you always want to lay down and take a nap. You know that. That means you're not healthy. They answer all your questions right there. So just that's something you really, really have to work on. We went all around the corner with this conversation. We always do this with the lives. We always go around the corner. And oh my God, it's probably so long, it's probably not even going to let me save it. But I'm glad we had this chat, though. I'm glad we had this chat. Just, are there any questions? Any questions in the back, in the front, in the side, in the corner, anybody in the back of the situation, in the back of the sanctuary? There will be dinner. There will be fried chicken and biscuits and green beans served in the basement of the church. Please make sure that you leave a love offering to Sister Jenkins. She's been cooking this food the entire service. She been down there slaving in the kitchen. Also, make sure you take your kids down with you. We do not want any unsupervised children downstairs in the basement trying to get served. Seriously. But, it's just important that I want y'all to work. I really want y'all to work on y'all insides. I really want y'all to work on, being better and being able to realize when you are, you are in a place of you being stagnant, and it's because of you, and just carrying yourself with more love. I think that's what the key thing about class and etiquettes is. First, you being a godly and having some spirituality and being God-fearing, but also that you put in more love out. And the easiest way to know if you are carrying yourself with class and the correct etiquettes, or are you putting love out into this situation? Are you, covering this situation with love, or are you coming in this situation with anger and hate? And that's what it's all about, being classy. When you want to tell somebody thank you, when you want to help somebody with something, when you leave a good tip, when you dress, in a certain type of way, when you put yourself in places you've never been put in, and you carry yourself a certain way, that's what it's all about. You coming in that situation with love. And I think that's where we're a lot of that we're lacking. And, I wish that more women would understand that, if you just really sit down and realize if you really are loving yourself the right way, and if that's what it is, then everything around you will change. Every single thing around you will change. And I honestly, like we talked about the single, let me not say it. We talked about, well, I'm addressing it as a single mom, but you better not address yourself as that no more. But when we talked about that, I think that's I think I'm going to definitely do a podcast on that, because, that's a major thing in our community now. We are bringing a lot of 2-parent homes into the game, and the Black family is being united again, and I love to see it. But we also do have to understand, there is, co-parenting and things going on, and successful co-parenting situations, but I always say, don't let that hold you. Don't let that, keep you in shackles. Forgive yourself for whatever it is and move forward. Understand that there's life outside of that. If you may have been in a situation and, you guys broken up or divorced, and now you are the primary parent, there's love and life after that. You just have to be determined, and you just have to understand and involve God a lot more into the mix. That's the only person that's going to get you to where you need to go. You can't let that way that played out just stunt your entire life. If you had a bad breakup, if you thought this person was going to be with you forever, and, he made promises that he didn't keep, you have to forgive him for not keeping those promises too. A lot of y'all have not forgiven, the men that have hurt you for what they've done, even if they have not, asked, for an apology or whatever it is, and it kind of ended the wrong way. You still have to forgive them for that. That's a part of healing and moving on. And that's a part of you being able to open up your heart and your life for somebody else. You got to forgive that person. There's relationships and issues that I had, and it didn't end the best way or whatever. And I just had to forgive them for the wrongdoing they did in the relationship, even if they didn't even tell me or even accept that they did anything wrong. A lot of times they don't even accept that they did anything wrong. They don't even accept that they're not being the best father that they can be, or being, a father at all. But you have to forgive them for that. And you have to understand that, everybody has to answer to God. Everybody has an answer to him. So everything you doing here is being recorded and kept. This conversation is being recorded for training purposes. So please don't think that anything that is being done is not going to be addressed, on our judgment day. Everybody's going to have it. So don't let, those decisions from that male in your life just have you just blocking all types of blessings and not living your life. If you are, the father isn't in the life, you just got to keep it moving. But don't make that mistake again. That's another thing too. If you have been a single mother before and you don't want to, and the single mom thing didn't work for you again, don't go be no single mama again. A lot of y'all didn't learn from the first time. Don't do it no more. Don't do it no more. It ain't necessary. You did it already. We see how it played out. We ain't really like it. The show wasn't good. We're not going back. Don't do it no more. Be preventative. Prevent it. There's so many things you can do. A lot of y'all don't even need to be having sex anyway. And that's a whole other conversation. You don't need to be having no sex, okay? Realistically. Sex is the least of your worries right now. Sex is cute, but it is the least of your worries. You have some other things to do. You need to get your visual appearance together. But y'all, we talked about y'all being over sex before, okay? Some of y'all need to give sex a break. It ain't that serious, okay? Y'all, sex got y'all in a chokehold. I don't even know why. I mean, I know why, but it got you in a choke. You are making executive decisions based off sex. You can't do that. You cannot make executive decisions based off sex. You cannot make those. Sex should not be a deal breaker for anything. It should, or opener. Sex should not be an opener, It should not be. You should not. And if you are over the age of 25, you should not be having sex with anybody just to be having sex with folks. Once you get past 25, you have to have sex with a purpose. Okay? There's no more just having sex because it feels good. You should have did that 25 and below. Once you get, you know what? I'm going to give you the 27, 28. 27, 28, you need to have sex with a purpose. Just all that banging and singing and all that y'all be doing just to do it, I don't know why. I don't know what you're doing it for, but it ain't getting you nowhere. Is it? No, ma'am. So, all that you're doing is unnecessary. Stop having sex unnecessarily. Sex is a weapon. I don't care what they say. It's a powerful one. It's an exchange of energy. Stop exchanging your energy with people who are wrong. Stop picking these men's demons up when you having sex with them. Come on, somebody. Because let me tell you something. You are opening a gateway when you have sex with somebody. Do you know you can manifest your entire life when you are when you are orgasming? So if you can do that, why are y'all out here just having sex with people? If you know it's that powerful, what is you having sex with all of these people for? For what? Now, if you a hoe and that's just what you want to do, then it ain't nothing I can help you with anyway, baby. This ain't even a lie for you. You may need to go to somebody else's and get some other news. This ain't it. But what are you honestly having all of this sex for? Why? What are you doing? Get you a husband and then y'all can do all of the freaky or whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, you can do that. Trust me, he's going to be excited that you want to do it. But just out here, just banging, just hopping from genital. Stop it. Stop. I don't even, it's not, stop. It's not it. It's not it. It's not, that's not where it's at. It's very unsafe. I would not recommend it. I give it 2 stars. No, I give it 1 star. 1 star, very ghetto. Wouldn't recommend it. Do not come back. Will not return. You don't need to be, you are oversexed. You are entirely too old to be oversexed. You shouldn't even be having, when you in your 30s, you shouldn't even be having discussions with your girls, about girl, I mean, y'all can have a discussion oh, okay, the sex was this, but y'all shouldn't even, the conversation should be very brief on sex. It shouldn't be, it should be yeah, girl, the sex was good, and he has this, and he can do this, and he owns this, and he has this business, and all of this other type of stuff. That's the topic that it should hop off of. Or it should hop into and then go back out and come back in. But it shouldn't, we shouldn't have to, that shouldn't be it should be a PowerPoint on sex. Okay, that's an additive. That's a bonus. That's a bonus, with a man. Of course you want the sexual connection to be good, but that is a bonus to other things that need to be good too. So, because honestly, if there is, the other things are not 10s, then I'm not even in the mood to do anything with you with my clothes off. Not even my sock. So, y'all gotta start thinking outside that box. What are you doing? What are we doing here? Why are we doing this? What are we doing? Why are you doing this? Seriously. You don't need to be having sex with everybody. I know no one's told you, but it's not that serious. It really isn't. And that's another, you really shouldn't be discussing your sex life. Let's be realistic. Some girls have you're going to have a conversation girl, but realistically, it should not, the opener should never be, and there's women who that's the opener. That's the discussion they have about a man is the sex. That's what's keeping them going is that. They're oh girl, well, he do his thing. And I'm huh? What do you mean? That should not be, past 28, you should definitely be having sex with a purpose. It should not just be you just having sex because it's 3:00 in the afternoon and it's nothing to do. That's not what's going on. Especially when this ain't even your man. This man ain't even gave you no title, no nothing. You just doing it. It's just mind blowing that we even have to, but that's what it is. It's life in a big city, like I said before. If you love yourself more, these things will come easy. You will not, the more you love yourself, you will respect yourself more, and you wouldn't even be thinking about having any type of sexual relations with anyone who has not made any type of commitments to you, and you guys have not had any type of discussion about it. Like, y'all not even on the same accord, you know. In your 30s, you should not be, you know, sex should not be a way to lure somebody into making a commitment. Like, you shouldn't feel like, well, oh, if I had sex with him, I know he gonna want me after that. Like, then it just is not it. That's just not it. And you shouldn't be having them. Hold on, guys. My husband just called me. I wonder. But yeah, I love you guys. And, you know, I'm so grateful that we're here. Oh, okay. Okay, babe, I love you. Yep. Okay, babe. Bye. And he just texted me on the phone. But yeah, it's really important that you don't do that. You really don't. So I'm so glad we had this discussion. And it's been a long one, you know, mouth getting all dry. I'm sitting here. I don't have any type of hydration. I'm grateful that we all had this conversation. We're going to have more of these chats. I'm going to try to save this one. But you know, just love you. I just want you to love yourself more in 2022. I want you to love yourself more. I want you to put yourself on a pedestal of just love and light. I want you to really, you know, start and embark on a spiritual journey with God. I really want you to just understand how much he loves you and just really, really get in there with that, because that would help you love yourself more. If you know how much God loves you and how much he valued you, you'll love yourself more. And then it just will all just fall right into place, because it's going to take some real self-evaluation in different areas. Like, I'm constantly evaluating myself and thinking of like areas that I can improve and things I can do, and not just visually, but just mentally, you know, how I can be better, what I can read and what I can learn, because there's knowledge in everything. You never want to stop learning. You know, I want y'all to critically think more. You guys don't critical think. I want you to critical think more. I want you to think outside the box. I want you to question things more. You know, I want you, and when you, I'm telling you, when you start reading your word, you'll see, you know, how all these things are important things to have. Being a critical thinker is important. Questioning things more, not being a follower, not just jumping into things. You know, Instagram, the curse of it has created a lot of sheep people and people who just follow things and don't really think outside the screen. So you got to think outside the screen, and you got to realize that you have to take a hold of your household. And in these next 10 years, they're going to be a doozy. We have a lot of changes coming. And they're starting right now. And some are going to be good and some are not going to be good. And you got to make sure that you and your tribe are good. And the way that you're going to do that is really, really, really building that relationship with God and being the best person you can be. Because a lot of you are not being the best, and you're blocking blessings. And these are, you know, financial blessings. These are spiritual blessings. You know, it's just you blocking them all. And you just got to stop blocking them. You holding your own self back, and then you're blaming everybody else for it. And you got to start with yourself. So I want you to do that. I want you to take some time tonight when we get off this live and pray and just ask God to really direct you in the right area so you can be the best person you can be. And really, really, you know, if you don't have a relationship with him, really ask him to help you establish that relationship, and really, really carry yourself as a God-fearing woman. And it's not going to be perfect. You're going to have some days where you're going to feel like you fall short. But don't let that keep you from growing that relationship with him, because the enemy will have you thinking that you're falling short, and then you're going to fall right on off the wagon. So stay on the wagon. Hold on. There's some days where I feel like I'm completely off of it, and some days I feel like I can get up and I can preach a whole sermon. But that's just the way of the world, and that's just the way of growing in God. And everybody's spiritual journey is different. And I'm not going to judge yours, and you can't judge mine, but I want you to start the journey. The key is to start. And that's what's going to really get the ball rolling with you just being better and you just feeling more confident in who you are and just visually putting the best you forth. A lot of you guys are just in a spiritual depression, and that's why your frequency is so low, and that's why you just feel like you just can't get out of it, and you just like you here, you there, you're not here, you're not there. It's because you need some God in your life. So, when you get off the line tonight, before you go to sleep, before you lay your head down, say you a prayer and just get it started and start the day new. And, just stay on the wagon. That's all I will say. I will really stay on the wagon. A little maintenance before we go, because we always got to do maintenance. If you are not listening to my podcast, it is called Serving While Being Served. I am the creator and the host. It's me. It is on Apple Podcasts. I'm going to get it on Google and all of the other things. I've just been busy. So but right now it's on Apple Podcasts. And then I also have a link in my bio where you can actually listen to it on my site. My lips are dry as hell because I'm so thirsty. Oh my God. See now why people need juice and stuff when they do speeches. And so I have coffee too. That's probably why it's dry. So it's a link in my bio where you can listen to all of the episodes. We are now on season 4. Of Serving While Being Served, and new episodes drop every Wednesday. We have a new episode drop. Also, I am also the face and the place to be to Housewife Sundays. It's I, and I am on YouTube. I have tons of content on there. New videos drop on Sunday, and the videos are of me just being lit. I've been lit since May 6, 1986. But it's honestly me being lit on a regular. Like you get to see like my whole personality where I say I kind of be falling off the wagon. You get to see where I'm kind of falling off sometimes. But the grace that you're going to give me, baby, the grace and falling off the wagon and getting back on is what it's all about. So you can see me on Housewife Sundays. I have the podcast if you already following me here on Instagram. But make sure you guys go and you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I am trying to be dedicated to that. I enjoy that. Like I love to do that. In my podcast, I love to do. And I know that this is a gateway that's going to open me up to so much more. So just help me while I'm helping you serve, while I'm serving. And go ahead and subscribe on the YouTube channel. So I will be checking back in. I'm going to try to check back in. I'm going to try to do like a once a weeker type of situation back on Instagram. If you've been following me years ago, I used to go on here every week and do it. But I fell off, but I'm back on. So I'm just happy that you guys joined me. And I just love you to the moon and back. And a couple of things before we go that I love to say. Make sure you tipping people. Make sure you telling people thank you. Stop having sex with everybody. Make sure you stop wearing that damn Apple Watch after events at 9 o'clock. If I see you out in the club with that Apple Watch on, I'm going to beat you up. Okay? All right. Bye.